Another sunny, beautiful day in the city of Lagos, and you're watching Make the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. I still remain your humble host, William Suzonga, and today on the program we are yet again visiting the fashion industry. I know you're already wondering who my guest will be today. Well, why not just sit back, as I always say on this program, and when we come back after the short break, I shall be unveiling today's guest. You're watching Make the Boss, we shall be right back.
It is true that doing business in Nigeria can be hard, but with the right connection, it doesn't have to be hard for you. Connect with the right access to industry information, funding frameworks, product and service suppliers, knowledge and product deals, and so much more when you join Club Connect. At Club Connect, you can get your work seen by over 1.2 million business owners within our network, valued at $10,000 a month. Get 50% off when you pay $60,000 for a year and get all the Club Connect benefits and more. Call 0700 800 5000 to join or visit club.connectnigeria.com.
For the best events, log on to connectnigeria.com.
Welcome back to the show, Make the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. Before that break, I did tell you that today we are yet again visiting the fashion industry. And my guest today is no other person than the man known as Adebola Ade-Martins, also popularly known as Marco Martinez. Nice to have you on the program today.
Nice to have you too, sir.
I'm always fond of calling you Marco Martinez, because that's the name I was used to knowing.
Yes, I mean, a lot of my friends till date still call me
Still
Marco.
do the same.
In fact, they call me Marco.
Marco. So welcome to the program, Marco. It's nice to have you.
Thank you, Chief. I appreciate
Good.
it.
Now, usually on this show, I like to start by having my guests formally reintroduce themselves to the viewers back home and tell them a thing or two about who they are. So please, do that.
Yes, so my name is Paul Adebola Ade-Martins. I'm the head designer of Marco Martinez, as he mentioned, but I have other businesses, so I like to mention them. I'm also the head designer for Adebola Moda, a fashion setup that is focused on native attires. African wear, men's wear, basically. Then we have a host of other things we do, but since today it's only fashion,
Let's
focus
stick
on
to fashion.
Yes.
Oh, great, fine, good, nice then. Now, tell us a bit more about your story. How did this journey all start for you?
It's a long story, to be honest. It started out unconsciously when I was a little boy. Then I was in primary school. And I had to, I started out drawing, sketching on comic books, you know, so I didn't even know that would be the start of my journey.
Interesting.
So any book I find, I scribble, drawing, I just run sketches on my books, you know. I used to get beaten at home because of this issue, you know. So that was what we were doing. It got to a point where I couldn't hide, I couldn't withhold.
What was in
Yeah,
you?
what was in?
Yeah,
I just couldn't withhold it. So I stopped sketching on the books. You know, that my parents would see. So my friends, you know, that wanted me to do those things, they would offer me, buy me books. Yeah, so I'll continue the drawings there because I used to do comics. So basically, the comics was basically. Inspired out of me watching Voltron, all those, and all those DC comics.
Nice, I remember those.
So I at the point I decided to create my own superhero character, which is why I got a lot of support from my friends. So the superhero character, you know, used to fly around Adebola, you know, has his own name, saves people. There's always something happening every episode. So I used to release it every week. So I had friends that I used to look up, what's going to happen next week? Oh, did that person die? So that's how it started.
Nice.
Then later I got into the editorial committee as the one that draws for the school. So I used to sketch for the editorial committee group. So that also made me really popular in school. Yeah. So from there, I had to start from there because it was what I was doing. I was just drawing on paper, you know, having fun. Until I saw someone wear a T-shirt when I got to the university. Saw someone wear a T-shirt, and the T-shirt had a character on it. And so I was wondering, like, this character looks like my superhero that I used to sketch. How did this character get on
On the person's
on the
outfit.
person's outfit. So I started thinking, oh,
Interesting.
so that means I can
You can
actually
imprint
move these
characters
things, yes,
onto
yeah,
outfits.
change mediums. So that's how I started finding out how am I going to be able to do that. So I started out. Then, you know, back then there was no access to internet as such.
Yes.
So it was difficult. You almost even want to take paint, put it on
Yes,
material,
and start
you
drawing
even
and
try
sketching on
to,
the
you even try to
outfit.
cook it.
Yes.
You put inside pot, maybe
Yes.
it will dry. So trial and errors and all those things. Then I was able to find someone that was in art class. You know, so I teamed up with him and another of my friends. So we started off something.
Wow.
So that was the beginning of my fashion journey.
Amazing story.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's talk about the actual brand name that really gave you that household acceptance, which is the Marco Martinez brand. At what point did that brand itself come to birth?
So I started out with that name. Actually, it wasn't planned. I didn't plan to start off with a foreign sounding name. But at that time, it was difficult to find Nigerians supporting Nigerian businesses, especially Nigerian fashion businesses.
Yeah.
Because at that time, why would anyone want to wear a locally made clothes when the finishing, everything is so poor? You know, so I could understand. People wanted to, you know, rock with the coolest brands, you know, and wear the coolest things. And you can't refer to any African designer or any local designer, you know, that you could actually rep that much. So that was a battle for my business. So it got to a point where I started trying to break into the main market. So I thought to myself, one event happened that changed the whole thing. I had these customers, a set of customers. You know, they always ask me for stuff. Oh, I want this shirt like this. I want this. Because I started out doing apparel, urban apparels, outfitters, polos, t-shirts. These were things that you wouldn't even think is possible to be done in Nigeria. At that time, t-shirt, polos like what you're wearing is something we can do. You know, and so people ask me, how come if I ask you for a polo shirt and I want the left sleeve green, I want this one on white, you always get them. How do you source your stuff? This is a customer that has already, you know, made a request for some items. So I told him, let me just say the truth. We actually make them in-house. The guy was like, are you kidding? Are you kidding? I said, yeah.
I can't
so
imagine.
You know what the next thing, he just started we're talking, and the next thing, he turned the polo, the clothing, all the clothes I brought, he brought them inside out. I started checking. As I was talking, he was checking for finishing. He was just talking. So he started complaining, oh, why is this one like this? Oh, why is this? This is the same customer that's been buying
never said anything.
And never said anything. That has always been rocking our stuff. So he started, because he got to the awareness that this was actually manufactured here in Nigeria, the whole thing came up. So I said, okay, I got the message.
Yes.
Basically, he still doesn't believe in any proudly Nigerian setup. So I said, okay, no problem. So I went back and I said, so this is probably why I've been getting, you know, I have to go extra hard trying to market, you know, my label. But if I'm with a Ralph Lauren, it's easily sold. Yeah, I don't have to talk too much. So I said, okay, these are the issues. So the first thing is my name, my brand name. I'm not going to
go by Nigerian name.
No, I'm not going to wallow in poverty.
No,
I have to find a strategy, to penetrate these guys. By the time they like my stuff, it will be too late for them. So that was the strategy. So I came back to my hostel in Unilag that time. I had a couple of my friends. So I told them I wanted to rebrand. And I needed a name. But because that time I used the printing process was by hand. All printing jobs done was going to be done by hand. So if I had 200 pieces to make, it's going to be each piece, one piece by hand. Wow. So it was a lot of work. So I wanted a short name. I wanted a short name that I can easily replicate. So I told them I needed 4 to 5
different names.
No, 4 to 5 letter word.
Oh, okay.
That can easily print out.
Okay.
That won't take me much time to reprint. So we came up with that, but I told them I had the logo. I already had the logo from Superman because that was my, you know, childhood comic days. So I had a Super M logo. So I said I already had my logo. It's popular already. I don't change my logo. Just a name around
Just
that
a name
logo.
that goes around
So
it.
so started coming up in names. And my friends came. Oh, this. Then one just said Marco. That sounds nice. Oh, Marco. Okay. So I liked that. And I said, you know what? My surname is Ade-Martins. I can easily. Let me just take out the Ade and put the Martinez in. Marco Martinez. Everybody just shouted, hey, that sounds nice.
That's amazing.
And that's how there was nothing to. So, because I had wanted to, I'd always had the idea that all the big brands I look up to, Ralph Lauren, Tommy Hilfiger, name them.
Gianni Versace.
Giorgio Armani, yeah. I mean, they had double names. So I just told my label I had to have double names. That's why I added Martinez anyway. So basically, that from then on, it was history because once I printed the Marco Martinez, people didn't want to ask me. They just assume, Wow. At the event where the other time, somebody walked up to me and said, "Oh, is that your event where?" And I said, "Well, like, are you Marco Martinez? I'm just realizing that you are in Nigeria."
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, this is somebody that even after all these years.
Wow.
Person walked just last month. Wow. Are you serious? Like, this label is actually because we had to also try to raise our game, raise our standards, our finishing, get to the point where they won't have to question.
Yeah.
So from then on, after we've made the name, after we've been accepted, the Nigerian mentality has already shifted. So I now came up with my other label, Adebola Moda.
Okay.
So
interesting.
Now
what a story. Now let me even ask you. I want to pick your mind on the creative industry. Running a business in Nigeria, especially in the creative industry. How would you rate it from your own story? How would you rate the SME industry with the creatives in focus?
When you say, can you elaborate more? When you say
like
SME culture,
what does it take? What has been the experience for you as an SME, and what does it take to run a business successfully in Nigeria?
To be honest with you, bro. To be honest, what it takes, what it took me, number one was hunger. I can't lie, because and that's what drives most SMEs in Africa. The number one thing is just to break out of that circle. Yeah. That's the truth. You see, after you break out, that's when you start thinking creativity. That's why if you look at a lot of businesses, the way they started out, they had to just find a way to put passion. You are lucky if you can find passion and your drive and merge them. A lot of people put their passion aside, drive away the poverty, then come back to the So I would say most SMEs are actually like that. It's the reason why most of them don't go past where they should be. It's not as if they're lazy. They're not lazy. They're just hungry. So for me, I was lucky to find both together. Okay. But it was hunger, because it was my passion came before. As early as when I was like 7 years old, I started sketching. But because I wanted more in life, I was able to find a friend that pushed me into seeing that I can actually make money. So once he did that, I had to merge it so I can actually make money with what I like doing. I just merged it. So yeah, the culture is there for Nigerians are very, very driven. So when you say SME culture, when it comes to Nigerians are driven naturally. At least most of us. Yeah. If you go in the space right now to even employ, to get to employ certain staff, is very difficult right now. Yes. Because everybody wants to be everybody wants to be a boss. Yes. True. Everybody wants. So it's good, and it has the bad side. It has its flip side. The flip side is for the businesses. When you're looking for people to bring into your company and they want to take your position, they are not even willing to work with you for a long time. They just stop whatever they just want. Yeah, they just want. So it's a big issue, but it's with Nigerians. It's a Nigerian I've in other countries where I've been opportunity to work with some partners. They don't struggle with their staff. Once you get, they are usually loyal.
Very
They can
loyal,
leave them
stay.
for a long time and come back. When Nigeria, you can do that. So we're kind of like competitive when it comes to that. So
Good stuff, good stuff.
Yeah.
Well, I still have some few more questions for you before we call today's interview a wrap up. At this point, we're going on a quick break, and when we come back, I'll throw the questions your way.
all right, good.
Well, viewers, you're still watching Make the Buzz, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com, and today my guest is no other person than Mr. Adebola Ade-Martins, also popularly known as Marco Martinez, here in the beautiful city of Lagos, Nigeria. After this break, after this timeout, I still have a few more questions for my guest today before we call today's interview a wrap. So please stay glued, don't go nowhere. I'll be right back.
It is true that doing business in Nigeria can be hard, but with the right connection, it doesn't have to be hard for you. Connect with the right access to industry information, funding frameworks, product and service suppliers, knowledge and product deals, and so much more when you join Club Connect. At Club Connect, you can get your work seen by over 1.2 million business owners within our network, valued at $10,000 a month. Get 50% off when you pay $60,000 for a year and get all the Club Connect benefits and more. Call 0700 800 5000 to join or visit club.connectnigeria.com.
Welcome back to the second half of today's interview on Meet the Boss, brought to you by ConnectNigeria.com. And my guest is still Mr. Adebola Ade-Martins, popularly known to as Marco Martinez here in Nigeria. Mr. Marco,
Yes, boss.
welcome to the second half of today's interview. And I must say, it's been a very enlightening discussion so far.
We bless God for the stories.
Good. Now, before the break, you were giving your own view as regards to the Nigerian business space, especially the creative industry, and some of the little ups and downs we get to face. So let me now come more direct with a question that has to do with challenges. We know Nigeria is a peculiar market.
Yes.
Every country of the world has its peculiarity, so Nigeria is no exception. What would you say were some of your earliest challenges when you were about starting up this brand? What were some of those challenges you went through as a business?
Number one, I think the biggest challenge with the business at the beginning was setting up a structure. And second biggest challenge is the value chain. There's a big problem with the value chain fashion industry, such a way that we are striving to be local and to have our content 100% local as much as we can, close to 100% as much as we can. But we find that we are still dependent on raw materials coming from abroad. Until date, after so many years, we are still on that same spot. It's a sad situation, you know. So textile industry is literally just like a dot in the ocean. It's not expanding, it has not expanded, it's just there. So importation is still coming in and going in, even with the rising number of designers and fashion houses, yes. It's a big issue. Second biggest issue, the first one I saw, that's second biggest issue. First biggest issue starting out is you have to be on government in Nigeria. You have to have a generator. I used to tell someone, if you don't have a gen, you are not in business. It's not possible. Don't even bother buying a machine. Buy a gen first. Because when you buy a machine, you know, that's actually overboard. That advice is an overboard advice. Of course, you buy a machine. I'm just saying, you would, once you start making whatever amount you can make, the first thing you want to invest after getting your set up your machine is a generator, because NEPA is your, NEPA is the back, gen is the main supply, NEPA is the backup. Once you have that mentality, you will grow. So you don't want to have a bad reputation, you don't want to keep giving excuses, oh sorry, I couldn't meet up this because they took the lights. You know, there's no excuse. You have to run your government. So that's number one. So with those two challenges, I think those are the major challenges. Value chain at the core, setting up your business, running your business is the major challenge, you know. But the good thing about those challenges is that it opens up a wide range of opportunities for you.
Yeah.
So if you can actually take it, it shows you that Nigeria, the fashion space is so full of opportunities. So all these spaces I'm complaining about, people can easily still fill those spaces.
Yes.
So the market is still big.
Okay.
So that's the good thing.
Now, in line with these two fundamental challenges you talked about, how do you think the government, because there's no two ways about it, we can't discuss the Nigerian economy without mentioning the government, be it at the state or federal level. What are some of those things you think the government can do or put in place that can help businesses like yourself and many others thrive in Nigeria?
I mean, the government is the only solution to these problems. Honestly,
Pretty much.
Is the government can solve all the complaints we are having. Policies must be set right to help with encouraging and bringing in investors to fill up the value chain spaces I've spoken about. So that's number one. What the government can do to SMEs and young businesses and already budding businesses to be able to expand is that they should have a policy that is focused on exportation. So the fashion industry is one of those industries that can actually save the Naira and save the nation, yes. So all they need to do is to encourage all the fashion houses to export.
Okay.
So once they encourage that, that means they have a lot of work to do. You can't just talk of exportation if the quality they are producing is not up to standard. So you have to solve that issue. For quality to be up to standard, you have to go back into which involves government going back to the farms.
Yes.
Because for fashion, it starts with the farm.
Cotton.
Yes, you have to grow your cotton and try to grow good cotton. You know, you start from that, making your yarns, you know, textile, you know, setting up more textile mills, financing that, you know, enabling us to be able to find all the things we need. For instance, I'm not supposed to be looking for imported thread. This is basic, but this is important. True. You know, my little factory here, sometimes we do millions on threads in a few months. That's how much thread we need.
Wow.
You know how much thread we need. So
and that's just you.
That's just me.
Wow.
That's just me. So you can't take out all those accessories, all those little trimmings.
Yes.
Yeah. You can't keep importing needle. You can't keep importing thread. You can't keep importing buttons.
True.
It's insane. You know, you can't keep. I should be able to walk to a company and say, "Oh, I'll need this type of buttons for my collection." Yeah. I should be able to say, "Oh, I need this detail for what I want to do." And as long as I meet the MOQ, they are willing to run it. That's the way it should be. So it's a whole new space they have to sort out so that we can now export, you know, and take advantage of all the other stuff they set up. There was one AGOA incentive that they set up at that time. But you know, AGOA was asking that you allow young fashion entrepreneurs to be able to export their stuff. But going to the US, they were asking you, you know, they want to know how much of local content you have. Okay. Where is the cotton coming from? Is it cotton made in Nigeria? Is this button made? You know, all the details they want to know. That makes it a Nigerian product. We can't import everything from China, Italy, Turkey. Then we come and assemble here and we claim that we are. No. By the time you finish with the cost, it won't even make sense. It will not make sense. So they need to solve that problem. Second thing they need to do in solving the problem is give grants. There was a time I benefited from a grant by the Goodluck Jonathan administration here. Okay. It's called UWIN.
Oh, UWIN.
I applied for it. I mean, my business got money, and so many other businesses I never got money.
Yes.
I really need to commend Okonjo Iweala and Dr. Goodluck Jonathan. Yeah, that was an excellent idea, but I don't know what happened. It has been stopped or whatever. I don't know. But you know, we need to bring in a lot of grants to support the real businesses. You know, they will look at business, they will see this business has survived so many years, then you can put into such businesses. And even other good ideas you can put into that. Then lastly, they have to look at easy access to loans for fashionpreneurs. Easy access. And the loans has to be soft. maybe just a low interest loans.
Low interest rates.
And you spread it a long time.
Yeah,
That's if you.
good repayment plan.
It's so easy to make Nigeria great. All you have to do is look at a model like China. About 20, 30 years ago, China was nothing.
Yes.
So you need to just check, what did they do? How did they get that space right? And with fashion, they are living that space. What kind of loans did they give out? What did they do to those guys? How did they encourage them to do it? Yeah. Nigerians are not lazy people, so it's so easy. Once they know you can access this, and if you deliver, you get another one. If you deliver, you get another one. Trust me, Nigerians are willing to do that.
They'll perform.
They will perform, 100% sure.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Now, Marco, let's talk a bit more about your inspirations, where you draw your ideas from. Even though your background story as to how you started is it's a fundamental one. Well, let me still ask you that question. Where and how do you draw your inspirations? Right, for your designs. I mean, you have very colorful, lovely designs. Where do you get inspirations for some of this stuff?
From my surroundings, basically from my surroundings and music.
Oh, music.
Yes. So if I want to be inspired, I listen to a lot of music.
Okay.
Because when I'm listening to music, I paint pictures. So from listening, I do a lot of rap.
Oh.
I listen to music, I paint pictures. From that, I can see the world in an imaginary view. Yes, so I imagine a lot.
That's cool.
So around me, I look at things around me, and I draw from other people's already existing ideas that are already big. You have to draw from there. There's nothing like a new idea like that.
Yes,
you just have to innovate. Everybody just keeps innovating, and It's very easy to find inspiration in a place like Lagos mainland. Trust me.
A lot. I agree. A lot. Okay. So, Marco, we're already coming to the home stretch for today's interview, but I think I still need to throw this question in. The Marco Martinez brand has gradually metamorphosed into something else.
Yes.
What is that? And also, where would you want to see this new baby and even the Marco Martinez brand in the next, say, 3-5 years?
Marco Martinez has always been a global brand. From the day I set out, I've always seen it as a global brand, even though it wasn't obvious. So I'll give you a story just to make you laugh a bit. I had a customer. She's a big woman.
Okay.
So I used to go to her. From her, Marco Martinez and everything, get her business and everything, getting big business from her. So she had already painted me at that time. I think until a long time ago. She already thought of me like one. So I used to go and, the way I present myself and the way I project and the things I give to her are always, out of the world. So one day she said she wants to come and see me. I said, okay, no problem. She wants to come and sit by me. Yeah, she came around. When she came to the factory, she said, are you kidding me? She said, because then we were in Ojolegba.
Okay.
We were in Ojolegba and I was packaging and all. So it got to a point where she was really angry. So what do you mean?
You've been scared.
She thought
like it was a scam.
She thought, why do you have to go through this? Why do you make me go through these rough roads to get to where you are and everything? I had to come at her, madam, this is where I do all my stuff from, right? So she really got, funny enough, she got angry.
Wow.
And she didn't come down the car. She said she didn't come and she left.
Wow.
So I told her, madam, no vex. This is where
this is where we do.
This is where all those things are saying. This is the magic. That's where it's
we do it.
So she left and everything. But guess what? After like a month, she came back.
She calmed down.
She not just came down. She went to try other people.
Oh.
When they messed her up, she came back.
Yeah.
So what I'm trying to say is that a global brand, I'm saying it to encourage other people. That before we got where you are, we are seeing big spaces, all those things. We started somewhere. Yeah. So, but we've had the mentality of a global brand. So what I continue to do is expand what we do. We move from clothing to fashion accessories to product designs. We're doing shoes, we're doing suits. Now we are doing bespoke clothing. Now we have Adebola Moda, which is for concentrated on bespoke clothing, high-end clothing for high-valued men. Yeah. So from there we have other chains of businesses coming up. We have a property company.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So it's going to in 5 years I see the brand as opening up flagship stores. Till now our strategy has not been to open up flagship stores. No, that's not a strategy. So our entrance strategy has always been to solve a problem, which is finishing quality control. So for you to finish well and control quality the way your brand should, you have to concentrate on your factory. So which is why we concentrate on factory operations, not just selling hype or selling image or selling. We just want you to have an experience with our products. When we see our products, you see the work and the commitment. So now we've done that for so many years. So next few years we'll be opening chains of stores all over the country and around the world. Amazing. That's the way we see Marco Martinez, but it's definitely a global brand and mark it down.
Amazing stuff, amazing stuff.
Thank you.
Now, Marco, before I leave, your final words to those watching you today, or the young entrepreneurs, even doing either what you're doing or something else. What is that final sentence of encouragement that you give to them?
Okay, I'll speak first to my fashion guys, my fashionpreneur guys. You guys need to hold it down, and always remember one thing: you don't gauge yourself based off on how well somebody else is doing or how fast somebody else is. Just concentrate on one thing: adding value, real value, no hype. Real value, not the one they'll see you on runway, your clothes are looking amazing, photo shoot is always amazing, then you get the product, then it's whack. Come on. It's better for your product to have that effect on people. Grow slowly, grow organically. Then you can now make the noise. When you make the noise, before real growth, you're going to expose your mediocrity to the world. So you don't want to do that. So second advice I'll give to you guys as fashionpreneurs is that fashion is one of those careers that you get better with time. It's not like music entertainment where Olamide's time, Two-Face time has passed. No. Jojo Mani, go and check out how it is. Go and check out those guys. They are getting older and they're getting better. So fashion, there's no time has gone. With fashion, there's no limitation. So fashion is fantastic. Just stay there, keep doing what you're doing, keep learning and unlearning things. You'll get there. Then from all my other business people, the same old thing. Add value, 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 value. Value over hype, value over money. That's all you need to do. Solve a problem and stay on that position of solving problems and you'll be fine. There's no other thing to say to you.
Fantastic. Marco, it's been amazing. I mean,
thank you, sir.
I couldn't have wrapped up today's interview in any more better way than what you just did. It's been amazing having you on the show.
Thank you.
And as much as possible, we do well to keep following and reporting on the Marco Martinez brand and
I appreciate it.
That will come.
I appreciate it, bro.
Great. Well, viewers, you've heard it all from my guest today, Mr. Adebola Ade-Martins, the brain behind the brand, Marco Martinez. We've learned a lot from all the inspiring things he told us today about his brand, how he started, the journey so far, and what the future holds for the brand. Remember, you can watch the post-interview for today's post-interview on our YouTube page. Just go to YouTube, search Cntv, you can see this interview and all the other numerous interviews we brought your way. And you can also follow us at our social media handles at Connect Nigeria across all social media platforms. And if you want to follow my humble self, it's Williams Zomba across all social media handles. And as I always say, if you want to see someone interested on this program, send us a message or two, and we'll do our best to bring that person your way. Until we come your way, same time, same station, next week, as I usually say on this program, continue to keep a positive mind, and the sky might just be the beginning of your success growth. Bye, guys.
It is true that doing business in Nigeria can be hard, but with the right connection, it doesn't have to be hard for you. Connect with the right access to industry information, funding frameworks, product and service suppliers, knowledge and product deals, and so much more when you join Club Connect. At Club Connect, you can get your work seen by over 1.2 million business owners within our network, valued at $10,000 a month. Get 50% off when you pay $60,000 for a year and get all the Club Connect benefits and more. Call 0700 800 5000 to join or visit club.connectnigeria.com.